Could protein safeguard women from chronic disease? I love this topic. It's SaraBanta with Accelerated Health TV and radio show. And a new study is out saying that protein may help protect women against many types of chronic disease. Yes, women need more protein. However, there's a problem with the study. And it talks about plant protein. They studied over 48,000 women, but there's a lot of holes in the study. And this was done at the Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging at Tufts University. And the study is on the heels of the release of the movie, You Are What You Eat. And that is true. I will tell you that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that is actually true vegan propaganda. When you look into it, it's funded by investors in Beyond Meat and people that are pro-climate change. And I'm not here to argue for or against climate change, but it does not belong in this discussion. You got to follow the money. So yes, women, you need to eat more protein, but we're going to dive into it in a little more detail. But what both of these studies are talking about is the importance of protein. What they don't address is what the people are transferring their diet from to what they are eating now, and what are the markers they're looking at. One of the main markers they're looking at is LDL, and that has been proven to not be linked to heart disease. You need to be looking at triglycerides and insulin resistance. The other thing is, the study was only 8 weeks. If you take any person off the standard American diet of processed foods and put them on a vegan diet, they're going to feel better because they're more conscientious about what they're eating. They're probably eating less processed foods, and whole foods are going to improve your health in general. It's not about what they're eating, but what about they're not eating. And they tend to eat less of those processed foods, which are full of artificial sweeteners, no fiber, fructose, emulsifiers, GMO ingredients, and it's truly not food. Food increases energy, right? Processed foods actually steal energy from the body. So as a result, the body will become insulin resistant and inflamed at exponentially higher levels. So when you eliminate those and you focus on a diet healthier, whatever that means, right? Even if it's a vegan diet, you're going to see an improvement in chronic disease, insulin resistance, and inflammation. Most vegans, and I have some very close friends, family members that have been or are vegans, and they feel better for the first 6 months until their body starts screaming at them. They become anemic, their hair falls out, hypothyroidism gets worse and worse. They have low energy because you're not getting the amino acids and the nutrients from the animal protein what that provides. So these studies attempt to claim that plants have more high quality carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Yes, they have more fiber. We all need fiber. And I eat vegetables. But the reality is our crops are so depleted of the soils that you would actually have to eat 50 peaches today to equal 1 peach from the 1950s. So where you're actually getting the most nutrient-dense food is wild animal protein, and we'll get into that in a minute. But the other thing they're not addressing is where the animal protein is coming from in the studies. The title is correct. You are what you eat. And most conventionally raised beef and chicken eat fully GMO-laden corn, soy, and other extremely inflammatory foods that will actually cause insulin resistance at the cellular level, even though you're not eating sugar. And this is the source of most chronic disease. 70% of the diet now is processed food. So most of you aren't even eating real food. What I like about these studies, though, is they're focusing on the importance of protein for women. And most women are afraid to eat protein because they think it'll cause weight gain. And it's the opposite. On the contrary, a high protein diet will help insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, which is one of the fastest growing diseases in the United States. And it will also help inflammation and overall longevity. Muscle mass is connected to longevity, and you need that high quality protein to get there. What people don't realize is vegan diets, they've got some of the amino acids, but they're not in the right ratios to build the tissues and the muscle and the hair and the skin that you're looking for. If your body doesn't have all those building blocks all at the same time to work together, then they are actually not going to be used and they're going to be wasted. When you look at the plant proteins for muscle and protein synthesis, there is that huge issue of the ratios of the amino acids. And when you talk about wild animal protein, those proteins have all of the amino acids in the right areas and at the right ratios. So you gotta love this about the study. They talk about the plant foods that are relatively high in protein are lentils, green beans, bread, pasta, potatoes, nuts, bean, and peanut butter. I understand that people think those are full of proteins, but did you know that all of those foods have either lectins, mold, or oxalates or sulfur? Those could be poisons to your body that are causing leaky gut and then causing your body not even to able to absorb them. So what's crazy is these vegetables are causing weight gain, insulin resistance, arthritis, inflammation, nutritional deficiencies, anemia. The vegan source ingredients are not only suboptimal, but the overall diet is causing that leaky gut and inflammation. So when you have leaky gut, which most people have, then you're not absorbing the nutrients or the proteins that they're claiming you're getting from these foods. So we talk about sulfur, oxalates, lectins, and molds. Those are the four groups of foods that could be disrupting your gut and your protein synthesis. The sulfur vegetables are the cruciferous vegetables that used to be healthy for most people. A lot of people, not everybody, have a problem detoxing sulfur now. And you could get a backup in the liver, causing fat and protein metabolism to suffer. And those are onions, garlic, broccoli, cauliflower, kale. So make sure you look at how you respond when you eat those foods. I go through this with my group coaching, and it's easy to pinpoint the foods that don't work for you. Then you've got the oxalates. Oxalates are in the almonds and the spinach, most nuts. They can cause hypothyroidism, arthritic pain. And these are the vegetables that are the super vegan protein foods, like all the nuts and the spinach and the kale. So you got to be careful about those. Then you have the lectins. Lectins poke holes in your intestinal wall and leak into your bloodstream. This could be a big problem for your digestion and your absorption of protein. Then you have the mold foods, peas, pea protein. That is a huge source of vegan protein, right? It could be full of mold and be causing inflammation in your gut, disrupting your gut, leaky gut, causing you to not even be able to absorb the protein that you think you're getting from these vegan sources. So I just wanted to touch on those. When you switch from a vegan protein to a wild animal protein, staying away from the chicken and the conventional beef, you will see a huge difference. Why? Because that chicken, turkey, pork, and conventionally raised beef contain amyloid proteins. They cannot be broken down or utilized, and instead they get lodged in the tissues of the body and the brain and can cause diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. But what else? They're not getting used for your muscles, right? And you could have maybe had a bad experience from beef or from chicken and not knowing that that is why. When you switch to wild animal proteins like bison, which is the most nutrient dense food on the planet, or lamb, deer, elk, even grass-fed beef is okay. Cornish game hen, organic eggs, wild fish, they're full of dense nutrition without the inflammatory triggers, and you get the benefit of it with healing the body and lowering chronic disease. And then you fill in with the healthy fats and the right vegetables that work for your body. Not everybody's the same. Incorporate the intermittent fasting, and then of course eliminate all of the processed foods and oils that are causing the chronic disease and fatty liver and insulin resistance in this population. Cut out that fructose, not the fruits, but the fructose, the high fructose corn syrup that is in all of the processed foods. So one supplement that can help with the chronic disease, help with the fatty liver, insulin resistance, get you off of the processed foods is the accelerated keto. This is my go-to. It has been shown to reverse the damage done by low protein diets or a vegan diet, helping with anemia, hypothyroidism, fatigue, inflammation. It increases that ATP production so that you actually have energy. You're burning your own fat stores and you're actually maintaining your muscle mass because you've been flipped into the state of ketosis. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I am not for or against climate change. I just want you women to be empowered with eating the right proteins and feeling good and strong in your body. Thanks for joining me today. If I can help you with your health issues, contact me directly through the website, SaraBantaHealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. And join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. You'll be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey in addition to truly taking control of your health. My goal is to reach everyone on earth with eyes to see and ears to hear my message of healing. Help me with that goal. Share this podcast with a few of your friends who may need my help.